Hello, welcome to Westminster Confessions, exploration of the Book of Confessions. It's been 3 months since I've done one of these, so whoops, sorry. So we are still on chapter 28. So if you're just catching up and you're working your way through, then you didn't miss me for 3 months. But, that's okay. I missed you. Either way. Anyways, continuing on with the Westminster Confession, and we talked about in the last chapter about the church and its role. So, chapter 28 of the Communion of Saints. All saints being united to Jesus Christ, their head, by his Spirit and by faith have fellowship with him in his graces, sufferings, death, resurrection, and glory. And being united to one another in love, they have communion in each other's gifts and graces, and are obliged to the performance of such duties, public and private, as to conduce to their mutual good, both in the inward and outward man. Right, so we're connected with Jesus Christ by his Spirit to both him and to everyone else in love, communion in each other's gifts and graces. Right, we are all to share in the gifts that we have, and that was part of the church thing. Number 2, saints by their profession are bound to maintain an holy fellowship and communion in the worship of God, and in performing such other spiritual services as tend to their mutual edification, as also in relieving each other in outward things, according to their several abilities and necessities, which communion, as God offereth opportunity, is to be extended unto all those who, in every place, call upon the name of the Lord Jesus. So, by our very profession, we are bound to maintain fellowship and worship, right? Communion and worship of God. So we gather together with the people of God to worship with them. We are bound to that. That's something that we are supposed to do. Performing such spiritual services as tend to their mutual edification, praying for one another, counseling one another. As also in relieving each other in outward things, right? If we hear that there is a need from someone within our church, we are supposed to reach out to them and help them. If we have an ability to help someone with something, and that could be, yes, money, it could be food, it could be, a strong back, it could be all sorts of things, just a listening ear, we're supposed to do that. And also, in relieving each other according to their several abilities and necessities, with communion, as God offereth opportunity, is to be extended unto all those who in every place call upon the name of the Lord Jesus. So if we have ability to share and do stuff for other Christians in general, no matter if they're part of our church, but outside of their church, across churches, but also across countries, we're supposed to do it. Number 3, this communion which the saints have with Christ doth not make them in any wise partakers of the substance of his Godhead, or to be equal with Christ in any respect, either of which to affirm is impious and blasphemous. Nor doth their communion one with another as saints take away or infringe the title or property which each man hath in his goods and possessions. Okay, so this communion which the saints have with Christ does not make them in any way partakers of the substance of his Godhead, right? So because we're connected with Christ through his Spirit, that doesn't mean that we are then God, right? We're not part of God. No, that doesn't work that way. We're not equal with Christ in any respect. He has made us fellow sons of God, right? Fellow sons and daughters of God, but that doesn't mean that we are equal with Christ. Either of which to affirm is impious and blasphemous, right? Don't do that. It's impious. It's not a righteous thing to do. It's not pious, and it's not, and it's blasphemous. Not a good thing. Nor does the communion one with another as saints take away or infringe the title of property which each man hath in his goods and possessions, right? Just because we are to share with others, that doesn't mean that that we somehow sort of we don't have property. That it's sort of just like everybody shares everything. It's not this the state or the church is entitled to what we have, because it's a volunteer thing. As Christians, we are to share with one another, and that's something that is incumbent upon us. It is a volunteer thing. We are to share. That act of sharing is important. It doesn't mean that someone else is entitled to our stuff, but it does mean that we should share, right? It's like kids on the playground, right? Would you like to share your toy? No, I don't really want to share this toy because this one's really special to me. Okay, I understand that. But you brought these other ones. You need to share those, right? That sort of thing. Other kids are not entitled to your kid's stuff. This gets into my parenting style, right? But my kids should share with others. There's a difference there. So anyways, and that's what is incumbent. We are bound to that as Christian people. We are to share with others what we have, because that's what we're supposed to do. So there you go. That is the chapter on the communion of saints, a pretty short one. Next time we'll do of the sacraments, and hopefully it won't be so long. So join me next time for that. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't done so. Like this video, share it with someone else, check out our other videos, and have a very blessed day, and share with others. Thanks.